One of Tokyopop's most popular manga is GTO, Great Teacher Onizuka, and I'm sure many of you have read it, and if you haven't, pick it up. It is absolutely hilarious, and it's one of my favorites of the ones that I personally edit. And it is written by a man named Tohru Fujisawa-san. And Fujisawa is here with us today, and I'd like to introduce him. So without further ado, Tohru Fujisawa-san.
Do it.
I'd also like to introduce his editor, Toshihiro Miura, as well. So I'd like to start, Fujisawa-san, with asking you just basic questions about what do you think of GTO's popularity in not only the United States, but in France, I know, as well, and Europe. Someone put it up.
日本では結構 GTO っていうのはすごいヒットしたんですけども、内容的に例えばギャグとかそういうユーモアとかそういうのも日本的に日本人に受けるように作ってあるので、これが、例えば、台湾とか韓国とか、フランスとかで受けるっていうのはすごくびっくりしています。
The GTO was really intended for a Japanese audience. The humor in it is also intended for a Japanese audience. So the fact that it would hit abroad, such as in Taiwan and Korea, is really surprising.
And in what kinds of ways is it surprising? Do you find that you thought that maybe some of the humor in it that's, I don't know, maybe more critical of Japanese society itself, would it translate into American society?
そうですね。日本風に作ってある例えば日本のギャグとか風習とか、カルチャーとかそういうのをすごく自分に直して書いてもらうっていうのが僕の望みだったんです。その方が僕も、自分の作品がどのように世界での標準というかその国の面白さになっていくのかっていうのが楽しみなので、そういうところではすごく嬉しいと思っています。
The situations, the humor, and also the social aspects of GTO, although they are intended for a Japanese audience, when they are translated into other languages, he likes the fact that they are sort of translated in a way, interpreted in a way that is understandable to that target audience. As in English to Americans, like something equivalent in America, and that's really what his hopes are for GTO, to have people around the world understand the problems in a way that, have it be put out in a way that everyone can understand.
Let me just go a little bit into Fujisawa-san's history. Two previous mangas before this that he's written, manga singular, have been Shonen Junai-gumi and Bad Company, both of which feature the character of Onizuka. So Onizuka has had a little bit of a history in manga, in the pages of manga. Knowing that, how has GTO evolved as a character from when he first appeared in print to now in the incarnation of GTO?
湘南純愛組っていう、作品の中では、主人公って、日本の不良っていうのを描いてるんですけども、その不良の世界を描いていたのが全く逆の、いわゆる良くない人たちが今度はそういう普通の人たちを教えるっていうところでキャラクターを置くことでなんかすごく面白いものを作れるんだなと思って作ったんですけども、その中で富塚が不良を経験したっていうのがすごく生徒たちを教えるのにすごい効果的になっているように、作っていたんで、それはすごく今の日本の教育システムの中にも教育問題とすごく、抱えてるんで、そういう人たちの気持ちもわからないっていうことがあるんで。 逆にそういう不良をやっていた人が先生をやるっていうことでうまく変わったんだと思います。
The fact that Onizuka in the previous projects, in the previous manga, was a rebel. He was one of those people in schools who would do bad things. He would go fight. And the fact that in GTO that he becomes a teacher and starts teaching the youth is something that he thinks was something interesting that he could play with. The fact that in the educational system in Japan, these people are not understood. The rebels, the people who aren't ideal students aren't understood, and the fact that one of them would grow up to become a teacher, to teach, is something that he felt would work really well.
That's actually one of the most, I guess, profound elements of GTO is the humanization of a person in society who, in any other realm, would be ostracized, would be pushed out. He's gone to college, but he's gone to kind of a fifth-grade college. He comes out 21, 22 years old, and he doesn't have any leads. He doesn't have any. It's difficult for him to get a job. And many of us have been in that position, coming out of college and all of a sudden going, hey, I can be a teacher. In which case, is GTO then a good teacher, or does this character who's gone through all of this serve a different role in the lives of the students?
そうですね。鬼塚っていうのを書くときにすごく重要にしたのが、生徒たちと同じ視点っていうことなんですけども、そういうその視点をこう下げるために鬼塚っていう不良というキャラクターを教師にしたわけなんですけども、それは今の先生の人たちにもすごく言えることで、若い先生っていうのがすごく今やりにくくなっている、その生徒たちといわゆるもっと上の大人たちの間の中間に立って新人の教師になっていく人っていうのがこうやりにくい環境があるので、その鬼塚っていうのはその中間の年齢にいるので、両方生徒の気持ちも分かるし、若い先生の入りたての先生の気持ちも分かるっていうように作ってあるんで、先生としては多分、存在良くないですよ。だけど多分新人の教師たちにしてみれば多分すごく気持ちが分かる、生徒たちにも気持ちが分かるっていうその中間的な部分で作っているんですよ。だからそういう意味では、どちらにも若い人たちにいい先生なんじゃないかと。
In Japan, since there's a gap between new teachers, younger teachers, those who come right out of college and start teaching, and then the older teachers who've been teaching, the veterans, and the whole setup was to have Onizuka kind of fit in between the students and the young teachers, so that his viewpoint can be understood by both the students and the young teachers. The viewpoint of the young teachers, he probably is a good teacher, but from the viewpoint of maybe the older adults, he's not. But the whole intention of the character was to kind of have him in a type of leadership role, but with an understanding with the students, someone above who knows what the people below are feeling.
There's a scene in this in which he's walked out of the hallway just as a bunch of thugs are coming in the school to beat up the principal. At which time the principal relies on him to try to defend him in GTO, having just lost the job to him. And the principal himself calls these students garbage, trash, ruining the school, poisoning. And at the time, GTO turns to the principal and actually piles him into the ground instead. And his whole point is that if you tell the students they're garbage, you tell them they're trash, you tell them that they'll never achieve anything, that's when they won't do it. And in doing that, Onizuka's characters blossomed from the street punk that he was into this character. That's what I was, and basically that's what Onizuka Fujisawa-san, It's okay. They're one and the same. He's saying, especially with this particular book. So again, towards the end of the panel, we'll try to give away those. But moving on outside of just the social ramifications of GTO and what it does, I'd also like to talk about the style of GTO. It is different from American comic books. However, I know that Fujisawa-san is a big Star Trek fan, Star Wars fan. He likes the American scene. He likes the science fiction scene. So Fujisawa-san, since you like the science fiction scene, and Onizuka loves science fiction, he loves video games, he loves all of this, but you're writing the manga about him, and so I want to see you like all these things as well. But you didn't go out to write a science fiction. You actually went out to write a rather real human story. Do you want to write science fiction, and what are you accomplishing in writing this human story about people who like science fiction?
基本的にはそういう SF が好きな人の SF も両方書いてる。で、自分でもこれからそういう SF 的な作品を書きたいし、そういう SF が好きな人たちっていうのを書くっていうのが、またそれが一つの楽しみになっているので、これから両方やっていきたいです。
He'd like to, he enjoys writing about people who like science fiction, as well as he does want to try and write a science fiction sometime in the future. He thinks that they're both very interesting, both viewpoints, but he would like to enjoy both.
So to give up these books, what I'd like to do is just throw out some maybe trivia questions about GTO, or if we can answer them. Let's get rid of these books. First of all, what kind of car does Uchimata drive? Yes. What?
Toyota Cresta.
You got it.
No, we throw them. You don't.
How about, what is the name of Onizuka's little love interest?
Little love. Bring on the love.
Friend.
Yes, you.
There you go. What was he going to be? What was he going to be instead of being a teacher when he thought he lost the only forest thing?
You pick one.
There you go. What's the name of the academy?
Holy Forest.
There we go.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
What is the name of the author of GTO?
You pick.
Right there.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for attending our panel. We hope to see you at our booth. Have a great show. Keep on Tokyopop. Keep on.